last fire will rise. The last fire will rise behind those eyes. Black house will rock. Blind boys don't lie. Immortal fear. That voice so clear.
Hello, YouTubers. So you've heard me talk a lot about Flying Frog Productions' board game, Last Night on Earth, the zombie board game. As you know, I'm a huge fan of that. Well, recently, as a gift for my birthday, I also received another Flying Frog Productions board game, A Touch of Evil, the supernatural board game. Now, I have to say, after with Last Night on Earth, it's funny, after having only played it once with a couple of friends who introduced me to it, I was absolutely hooked, absolutely obsessed. Well, turns out I found out that the same exact thing happened with A Touch of Evil. I love this game just as much. I'll get more into detail about that. But so today I wanted to kind of tell you a little bit about this game. So the one thing is you'll notice it's when you first play the game, it seems very complicated. There's a lot to it that at first glance you think, wow, this is a lot. This is confusing. But once you sort of get into the swing of the game, it makes a lot of sense. And so with this game, with the basic idea is, first of all, you have the board is actually a map, and this is your town. Now, in the town, so everybody, all of the heroes, each person that's playing plays as one of the heroes. And there is a cooperative and competitive version of the game. But basically what you do is all of them start in the center space of the board. And there are different named spaces throughout the board. So each of the corner spaces are like a location, and each of them has their own separate deck. So you can travel to those boards to try to get items. You can also try to pick up events, which will either have you do something right away, or there'll be something that you can hold on to that you can use later. You're also throughout the course of the game going to try to collect investigation. Now that'll either be through something on an event, or there's certain board spaces that let you collect investigation, or sometimes through something happening in the game. Investigation will be put on the board, and you can try to collect that. That investigation is basically going to be like your currency. You can use that to purchase items from the town items, to investigate secrets of the elders. I'll get to that a little later. And you can use that also to eventually get a location where you're going to fight the villain, and then actually go and fight and have a showdown with the villain. Now, throughout the course of the game, as I mentioned, you're going to want to investigate the town elders' secrets. Now, the reason being for that is that at the end of the game, when you go into a showdown with the villain, you're able to take up to 2 of the elders into your hunting party. So for, the secrets that each of the elders starts with 1 secret apiece, and throughout the course of the game, they may pick up another secret, or more secrets. They might pick up a number of secrets. Those secrets, as you investigate them, will reveal whether or not they're evil. So if you are playing the competitive version, you're going to reveal the secrets just to yourself. So that way you'll want to know who are the good elders, because you'll take them into your hunting party. Whereas if they are evil and you didn't realize that and you take them into your hunting party, they immediately join the villain. If they are when you go into a showdown, the other heroes are able to accuse an elder of being evil, and if they're correct, then just the same, that evil elder then joins the villain, and so you're fighting them as well. The elders we have are Dr. Manning, Sophie the Midwife, Reverend Harding, Lord Handbrook, Magistrate Croft, and Lady Handbrook. So each of them start off good, and eventually some of them could be revealed to be evil. At the end of each hero round, the mystery round takes place. So you pass around like a first player token. So whoever happened to be the first player for that round, they take the top mystery card. And what that is that basically that's the villain is going to do something. The villain's wreaking havoc. So it might be that you roll on the villain's minion chart, and some minion attacks you. It might be that the villain itself attacks somebody. It might be that the villain kills one of the elders. So in this game, of course, the The fun part is like with any flying frog games, is they have all sorts of awesome characters. So let's see. So I'm not going to go into great detail about them, about every piece. So what I'll do is I'm going to put up like the images. If you really want to read through it, feel free to pause on each one. You've got Carl the soldier, Heinrich Cartwright the drifter. Interesting little tidbit. It's the same actor who plays Jake Cartwright the drifter from Last Night on Earth. You have Inspector Cook, Thomas the courier, Isabella von Took, noblewoman, Anne-Marie the school teacher, Victor Danforth the playwright, and my personal favorite of this game, Katerina the outlaw. Now, each of the heroes will have an honor number. They also have a number for spirit, cunning, and combat. So what you'll do is from time to time, there'll be a reason for you to refer to that. It might be something maybe in the mystery card. All the heroes have to roll against their spirit or cunning or something along those lines. So what that tells you is that the number that you see is the number of dice you get. And then the card will tell you, like if the card, for example, says roll a spirit 5+ test, that means that you roll the number of dice that matches your spirit. So if your spirit's 2, you roll 2 dice, and any 5+ you get, meaning a 5 or a 6, is a victory. Now, when it comes to combat, combat is concurrent, meaning that the hero and the villain face off, and they roll the fight dice together. A 5 or 6 is a victory, is a wound, where unless stated otherwise, like for example, Katerina's deadly ability allows her to wound on a 4, 5, or 6. But in general, a 5 or 6 is a wound. So meaning that you could end up you could end up destroying the villain as he also knocks you out. Now that's also an important distinction with this game, is that your heroes are never killed per se. If all of their wounds are filled up, they're simply knocked out, which means they go back to the town center, and you roll a d6 and have to lose that many number of items, allies, or investigation. Now, what's also cool about this game is the villains. And again, I won't go into great detail, so I'm going to put the cards up. If you want to read further, you can feel free to pause on each one and kind of read that. You've got the Scarecrow, the Vampire, the Werewolf, and the Spectral Horseman. Okay, so basically, those are the main villains. Of course, this game, just like Last Night on Earth, has a number of expansions. So there are more heroes, more villains that you can collect, but those are the 8 heroes and 4 villains that come with the original game. So each of the villains has, different powers, different abilities, different things that they'll do, and also they have a number of combat and a certain number of wounds that you have to do to them. Now, they each also will have their minion chart. So as I mentioned, you'll be collecting investigation, trying to get up enough investigation to start a showdown. So how you do that is that you will collect the investigation, and then, as I mentioned, on the bottom of the shadow tracker, depending upon what section of the tracker you're in, there will be a price, and that's the number of investigation you must pay to buy a layer card. When you buy the layer card, you do not reveal that to any of your opponents, unless, of course, if it's the cooperative game. But in the typical competitive version, you don't reveal that, because what you're going to do is you're going to try to make it to that location. The layer card will also have a number on it, a price, and that's how many investigation you then have to pay to actually start the showdown with the villain once you get to the location that's listed. So this game, this is definitely a game I have to highly recommend. I absolutely fell in love with the game after one play. Flying Frog Productions is just awesome. Their games are just amazing. I'm eventually going to collect all of their games. I absolutely fell in love with The Touch of Evil. It's one that I definitely recommend that you pick up. All right. Thank you, YouTubers. Have a nice day.
Change